So what can you do about dealing with stress in the body, and how can you get back to this relaxed state? So the first thing is to understand how your body relates to stress, and everyone does it differently. This is why it's so difficult and why I can't give you a panacea advice on this interview, because everyone deals with it differently. The first thing is to understand, okay, what can I do that makes me feel happier, at least, or at least makes you feel more relaxed? And it doesn't have to be meditation. I know people that go for walks, and people that do it surfing. Find something that makes you feel relaxed. That's the first thing. It's so easy. When it comes to voice, humming and singing are amazing things to do, because humming starts to innervate these nerves. So humming is a very, very gentle way of bringing your vocal folds back together. It's almost like massaging them. And you're starting to trigger these nerves to innervate this part of your brain to say, hey, perhaps it's okay. Perhaps the threat that we thought was there is no longer there, because my body is starting to register soothing. So if you're feeling stressed, humming or singing may be a way to go about it. If you don't like singing, because I know a lot of people don't, having a harmonica is also a really useful way, because it helps to regulate your diaphragm and you start to introduce control over it. If you're stressed, you don't tend to have a lot of control over your diaphragm. It does whatever it kind of wants to just to keep you alive. It could be breathing very, very quickly. Anything that regulates your diaphragm and your breathing can help bring your body back to a relaxed state. The third thing is understanding what your body's doing. So, am I clenching my jaw? Does it need to be clenched? Where is my tongue? So understanding what your body is doing in space, which is called proprioception, what your jaw and what your tongue are doing, and what your belly is doing, what your shoulders are doing, is another very important aspect. The fourth tip for, I suppose, maybe improving your voice is, if you want people to listen to what you're doing, which sparks discussion about things that you may not have thought of about your work, then it's important that you deliver that story properly. And you can only get that by inciting people's attention by using different modulation of the voice. Very important aspect. It takes bravery to take in enough breath for what you need to say, and then get into a position of saying it with the right amount of tone. It takes a bit of commitment. It takes a bit of bravery to kind of step outside of the norm. Because what it means is, if you're speaking with a full tone, means that you're 100% standing behind your words. But a lot of the time, we tend to pull back from that because we're worried about what people will think. If you are speaking to someone, and performance is your life, which is where you have to go on stage and you have to commit to every single word you're saying with utter commitment, then you should probably practice committing behind your words in everyday life. Think about that as your gym. That's where you practice learning how to commit to your words. And also realizing when you're pulling words back into yourself. It isn't an easy thing to do. It's not easy. And it takes practice.